Brandon Carlo's name is out there. Sarah Volley's mentioned him in his trade board. We've heard it floating around. It's odd. And the Leafs don't want to trade him. However, this is a guy with 2 years at $3.48 million because remember, $485 million because remember the Bruins, I think they retained 15% or something on that deal.
Yes.
Who is 28.
In his prime.
He played 83 games last year, so he's healthy. Scores very little, which the Leafs that's an issue for them, which has to be solved, I think, by Morgan Rielly next year. He made instantly when he got here, they put him with Morgan Rielly and Morgan's numbers rebounded.
Yes.
This is a guy that I don't think they should move on from.
No, trading him's a mistake.
He's an insanely valuable trade asset.
Is he? I'm not like his numbers.
$3 million.
His numbers
like
super
6.
good.
8. Sorry, 6 and 6. Isn't he 6'7", 6'8"?
No, that would make him one of the biggest players in the league. He's big.
No.
He's like, I don't know,
6'5".
Is he 6'5"?
Is he 6'5"?
6'5", yeah.
Hot damn.
According to NHL.com.
So he's 6'4".
Okay.
Okay.
He's a big dude.
Round down to
Big
6'3".
6'5".
Metric make him 6'2".
220.
Yeah.
And we really shouldn't have people competing with Jesse for tallest man.
No, that's
But
bullshit.
anyway.
No, Carlo wins.
No, I listen.
You start telling people I'm 6'1", so you guys like come across as like 4'11".
I know. I was
asshole. I was telling. We were talking yesterday about that. I'm like, Steve and I look like 2 round eggs next to Jesse in every picture.
I'm only 6'1". What are you talking
I'm
about?
gonna kick your ass.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
We are not Portnoy sized. All right.
I'm gonna start
I'm an
posing on my
average-sized
tippy
man.
toes, Jesse.
I'm 5'11".
4'11", Steve Dangle.
No, at events, they'll come up to me and I hear it for Adam too, and they go, "Oh, you're taller than we thought." And I go, "Oh, thank you." And then they'll just go up to Jesse and go, "Wow, look at you!
You're a museum piece.
I think it's just because you guys are really tiny.
Yeah.
I hate you."
You guys make me look really tall.
don't like
I'm
this.
6'1".
I don't like where this conversation's going. But Brandon Carlo, tall man, also extremely valuable to the Leafs. And here's what I think, okay? And I'm just going to give you my thoughts on it. Remember, I'm of the opinion that this is a step back year. You're on a 24-month cycle. You save some cap room for the season because somebody's going to fail. Here's what's going to happen this year. Everybody's saying 31 teams are trying to get better. Well, they can't. And the Leafs are good. And I think the Leafs are locked to make the playoffs. I mean, we've said that about a few teams. But I do think the Leafs on a 9-year playoff streak are going to do quite well next year. And they're going to be fine. And they're going to make the playoffs. The idea that you would trade from a strength, whether it's goaltending or defense, which I would argue are now 2 strong assets of the Toronto Maple Leafs, to address a weakness, which is issues up front, to me is a huge mistake they've made in the past that they should never do again. And so if you are playing Craig Berube's system, you're not going to score a ton of goals. You're gonna try to limit opportunities. You want to control the puck, the play a little bit more ideally next year. What do you need? You need great defensemen to do that. And you need great goaltending behind them. And you know what's available? A lot of forwards throughout the year. Yeah. So trading Brandon Carlo for me, you better bring back a monster haul. And I don't think it's available.
That's insane.
I don't see it.
Like that they're entertaining that idea, or people are suggesting they should entertain that idea.
What I
Who
like
would be
about
a forward good enough? Like
you need a center. You need a center, and you need it to be a genuine, bona fide 70-point center.
Who the hell is trading a 70-point center?
Nobody.
Yeah,
that's why it's not out there.
I don't understand the logic in moving Carlo,
which is great. But
first name that came to mind was like Troy Terry.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know why they would trade him and Zegras.
I don't.
What the hell are you doing?
No. No, and then you would have Trouba, Gudas, Carlo, just harden.
My point is, I guess, that with Carlo, you know what you have. With the goaltending, you know what you have. Your defense, you know what you have. Forwards, you can figure out. People figure that out. And I also like the idea of listening to the 40 billion people who came through here and suggested, hey, perhaps you want to de-emphasize the core 4.
Yes.
John is not going to be a core 4 guy anymore. Matty Nyes is.
He's going to make $5 million.
Matty Nyes is.
Yeah.
Nylander is.
Yeah.
Matthews is.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no core 4 anymore. How about we play as on a larger scale as a team? Again, and I want to challenge Austin Matthews and William Nylander to take up the mantle, because if you guys aren't performing, well, we're going to need other guys to perform, but Now it's just down to you. You can't just rest on your laurels and hope Mitch or John will take it up.
Remember, there's only one puck.
Yeah.
With the discussion we had with the Oilers, it's difficult to get your cookies if you're outside of that first power play unit and like the couple spares that they'll throw into the top power play sometimes.
Yep.
Right? If Tavares comes back, it's Matthews, Nylander, it's Tavares, it's nice. And then Marner played D.
Yeah.
Like people
Well, it's
forget
going to be
that.
Riley, which is going to be great because now they know Morgan Riley doesn't have a shot from the point, and he's going to run the power play, and teams are going to be able to cover the other 4 guys who can shoot. And whenever Riley has the puck, it's going to be like muffin from the point or pass.
It's not necessarily going to be Riley, and
It is necessarily going to be Riley. $7.5 million.
well, then I think they'll live.
I think you need a guy, but you need a defenseman from the point that has a shot. I'd rather Carlo and have somebody else run it. At least Carlo can shoot.
Dude, Jake McCabe can run a power play. Like especially with that talent out there. I think it's just that, we haven't necessarily seen them do it. OEL is an option.
OEL can shoot too.
Yeah, not an overly like sexy option, but like, okay, yeah, you lose some playmaking there. A lot of playmaking there.
You got Willie for that.
Marner. Like, yes, Willie
Willie could run a power
Matthews
play.
can pass for God's sake.
Yeah, but you don't want him to. You want him shooting. Hopefully, if the wrist is healed.
Well, and then you got Nyes and you got Tavares and you got all these players they're grown up, so they can fend for themselves. They'll be okay. Like, I think you're able to figure that out.
Okay.
Carlo, by the way, does not have a great shot. So
You don't think so?
no.
It's hard. It's a hard shot.
Sure.
Hey, man.
'Cause
he's not
Riley
on the
doesn't
damn
have a great
power
shot
play.
either. I'd rather at least have a hard shot that might hit the net.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if you like change-ups from the point, that's your guy. I'm not a fan of him running power play 1 next year. I'm really not at all. Please
Well,
say
It doesn't have to be Riley.
They probably don't do it. They had a forward do it instead of him,
Yeah.
right?
I could see them running 5 forwards on the first unit, and the
And
second unit it's Riley,
who's
or
the fifth?
OEL does the top one.
Mhm.
I don't think that's a problem.
Max Domi playing D.
Maybe you should text your buddy Mark Savard and ask him what his thoughts are.
You know what? Yeah, I'll do it.
You won't.
I won't.
You won't. David Kampf.
Before we move on from Brandon Carlo,
Oh.
he was one of 7 NHLers. Steve, you love this stat, to play over 82 games.
I love that.
He played 83 games. One NHLer this season played 85 games. Steve, are you aware of who that is?
I think I know who it is.
I know who it is because I played Spark Trivia. That is Cody Cece.
Cody Cece won the games played competition this year, playing in Dallas and San Jose. 85 games, which is quite the accomplishment.
It makes me mad that Fabian Zetterlund was got for what he was got for. I wish the Leafs had known that.
I do love the Sharks with all my heart. I do want to beat them up for that trade.
The other 6 guys or 5
Hey,
guys who
Granlund.
played over 82 games this year. Will Borgen played 84. Zetterlund played 84. Drew O'Connor played 84. Charlie Coyle played 83. Mikael Granlund played 83. And Brandon Carlo played 83.
Can you do all time and turn off some results?
Yeah, I can tell you the
Most games played in a
all-time-
season?
I think it's 86.
Well, that's nuts. Because they did have 2 years where they played 84.
That's right. That's right.
I remember that.
Guys would have got traded. I don't know. I love that stat because
by the way,
it's such a unique set of circumstances.
It is going to 84 in 2 years. We're going to have the 82 game season is going away. The 84 game season is coming in.
We don't know.
And no, it is. And what's weird about it is the NHL's like, no, we need more needless regular season games. Let's not do a play-in tournament. Lest the people enjoy it.
You know,
So stupid.
Again,
just leave it at
no.
82 and do a play-in from 6 to 10.
as a content creator, go to 90 games.
We want a 12-month hockey
I
schedule.
got a mortgage.
Go ahead, Jess.
The most games played in a season. Mark Lamb played. Oh, there's a bunch of guys at 85, actually. Cody Cece actually is tied for second ever.
That's crazy.
Cody Cece, Tyson Berry, Rem Murray, Bill Guerin, Joe Ricci, Mark Lamb, and Glenn Anderson are the only players all time to play 85 games.
Okay.
2 players are at 86, tied for the most ever. We have Bob Kudelski
Oh,
in 93-94.
70 points in
Played
80.
40 goals?
Played 86 games, had 40 goals, 30 assists.
The 80
He was a negative 33.
The 80s
Plus
and
minus.
early 90s are so funny.
They're crazy.
40 goal season, never heard of him. My entire
By the way,
life.
he was traded from the expansion Ottawa Senators to the expansion Florida Panthers.
Oh, yeah. There you go. And number 1 tied for first as well. We have Jimmy Carson.
Oh,
There you
Jimmy
go.
Carson.
Who
That was
played
a high
for
pick.
the Red
He had a
Wings?
great season too.
Who played for the Red Wings and the Kings? 86 games, 37 goals, 36 assists.
Was Jimmy
73
Carson not a part of the Gretzky trade? Am I crazy?
I want to say, wasn't he a first overall pick?
Yeah, Jimmy. There was something about Jimmy Carson. He had an interesting, shorter career, but interesting career.